Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's good? What's poppin'? Welcome back to another episode of the Howdy Podcast. I'm your host, Jasper. It's been a while since I've made a new video or episode because I've been really busy with starting new projects, which are in the works for this channel. So please stay tuned. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. All links will be in the description. And also, being an adult is just so freaking hard. I haven't been posting as regularly as I should and staying consistent with posting new episodes. I feel like it might be like a flimsy excuse, but like trying to balance work, live, eat, and breathe, it's not an easy task to do. Anyways, I hope y'all are doing well. That's right, it's just me today. Very exciting. Woo! So, if y'all have been listening to my podcast, I normally do short solo episodes. So, feel free to comment down below if there's any topics or any like series, any movies, or anything you just would love for me to talk about, or whether you prefer to listen to shorter or longer podcasts. You might wonder for I've been doing this for quite some time now. I've made like nearly 7 episodes. You might wonder like why do I go solo or not in a team? I guess there's some things like something inside of me was like, Jasper, you need to do a solo podcast and more of a video format. And I guess I really want to have more of like an intimate, direct personal relationship with all the listeners, with all of you. I really do hope that it feels more of like a conversation between friends that I'm talking directly to you. Before I dive into today's episode, let me ask you this. I'll give you some time to think of an answer. So, have you ever wondered why sometimes rejection hurts more than actual breakup? So, back before I was officially in a relationship, I used to get crushes on my friends all the time. I put a lot of love and energy into people in my life, so it's really no surprise that the line between friends and potential lovers can get a little blurry sometimes. I would find myself having all the usual I wonder thought when we spent time together, and would ultimately realize I had to decide if I was just having a passing attraction to them, or if my feelings meant there was something deeper between us that I could pursue. So I usually go for the route of continuing as just friends, but occasionally you decide to take risks and try, something more. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And I think that's just life, that is just life. And I feel like it's extremely common to have a crush on a friend. In fact, I would even say in many friendships where both people are single, someone has a mild crush on the other at the beginning of a friendship is totally normal. And I think, well, this could be quite contentious, but like I think it's because relationship equals friendship plus attraction most times. So if you're attracted to the other person, chances are you'll probably have a crush on them. If you're not attracted, like I guess your thoughts stay focused on just like wanting to remain as just friends. However, rejection hurts. It can hurt, like literally hurt. And I can say so for myself that I can get pretty sensitive whether I've been stood up or turned down. Rejection truly impacts us emotionally where we are at the most vulnerable. It can really also affect our sense of self-worth as well. Um, it makes people doubt their value, which creates insecurity. But sometimes I'm just like, I miss you, but then I remember the shit you put me through, and I'm like, fuck this shit, right? But remember this: if you ever been rejected by anyone, remember this: rejection is redirection. It can take persons some time to recover, heal, and get back on track with their lives. Since everyone is different, there's no concrete timeline for how long it takes to get over someone, right? On this note, before we begin talking about today's episode, I just feel like I'm just rambling right now. I've just got a funny story I just wanted to share on rebound relationships, on my failed rebound relationships. Very juicy. So I remember there was this time, it was a very long time ago. Now that I think of it, it's actually kind of funny. But we've had a push and pull relationship for the longest time I can think of. Never was official, but really good friends in high school. So we've known each other for 4 no 3 years. No, 4 years. But the chemistry was there. It was one of those moments in university or college, whatever you call it, where no one is brave enough to admit that they like each other. We've never dated, but once the guy who I met in high school, he broke up with his ex-girlfriend, and we kind of reconnected on social media. well, he messaged me and we talked, and it was very clear that he was contending with issues in his past relationship as he was bitching about his ex-girlfriend. So after a couple of days messaging, I can really tell the tone of the message begin to get extremely flirty. Like he will tell me how he's in love with me. Um and the thing is, it's a little bit, I feel a little bit iffy about it because we've only reconnected after a couple of days of messaging. And I think it started to get really obvious. Like I was the rebound. At least I think it's because of more petty reasons, such as trying to make his ex-girlfriend jealous. I was pretty observant, so I made sure that he wasn't intentionally seeking a new relationship where he likes me because of the attention I'm giving him. But then push and pull flirty interactions we've had was very short lived, and now I'll tell you why. So 2 weeks later, when I truly came to terms that he seems like a genuine person, I might be able to envision myself spending a long time with him. Now, the thing is, one day he messaged me and he told me that he was very horny, which, by the way, is a red flag, and high on edibles. He ended up fucking a girl, and now he wants to dump me because now they're a couple now. I actually don't know like how relationship works these days, but it seems like people just get high and then fuck, sleep, fuck, and then sleep together, and then they become a couple afterwards. I honestly, I don't know how it works anymore, but like I feel like I was like, what the actual fuck, right? Is this a joke? I guess it's not always the best idea to be somebody's rebound when they're still grieving or dealing with negative emotions of sadness, hurt, anger, guilt, and possibly shame related to being rejected, are things that they're not ready to deal with. So in some cases, I feel like people never really deal with them and they take their unhealed selves from one relationship to another. And I think when people start rebound relationships because they never really, received closure from their original relationship, and a person will begin transfer all of their unresolved feelings and issues to you, the rebound. So the take-home message is you can't put a crown on a clown and expect a king. Yeah, there's that. I hope if any of you who are in a similar situation can learn something from me. So why did I share so much about rebounds and rejections? Like Jasper, why are you so deep? Oh my god, you're my love guru. Are you trying to be a love guru? No, just kidding. JK. Well, today I'll be reviewing an indie Hong Kong BL series called I Am a Fool for You. So the main story is about an unrequited high school crush. So there are three young boys who were high school friends, lost contact with each other after graduation. 4 years later, they meet each other coincidentally. Although they have all grown up now and changed, conflicts are still occurring between them. So I'm a Fool for You has a total of 8 episodes that are divided into two separate seasons. So each season consists of 4 short episodes and comes with well translated English subtitles. So the episodes range around 8 to 10 minutes long. It's very, very short. You can finish the entire series in around like an hour and a half to maybe like 2 hours. So starting the second season, there are outtakes included at the end of the episodes. Currently, 2 seasons have aired, and there might be a third season in the future. So the series predominantly revolves around three characters. There's Hin, there's Hugo, and there's also you. Now, Hin is a university student and aspiring musician with thousands of online followers. Hin hopes to launch a music career but struggles to get recognition from record labels. So he's a popular guy. He still keeps in touch with his ex-boyfriend Yu and Marco. However, Hin has drifted apart from his high school friend Hugo after a failed confession. So Hugo is also a university student currently studying to be an actuary. He works as a part-time job at a bar to support himself financially. Hugo has a rocky relationship with his family when they found out that he was gay, so he moved out from home and now lives with his roommate Victor. So Hugo still has a lingering feelings for his first love and high school crush Hin. In the story, Hugo had his fair share of rebound relationships, particularly with Victor. And I think, like, honestly, I don't think it's a rebound relationship. I feel like it's more like casual hookups. Now, Yu is Hin's ex boyfriend, and they knew each other back in their high school days. He works at a warehouse where he usually slacks off a lot to go on like hookup apps and also like dating apps, like Grinder and Tinder. He's cheeky and talkative and very boisterous as well. Now, the thing about you is that In the series, he had a pretty bad breakup from his ex-boyfriend and uses a lot of casual sex to fill the void since then. In season one, the drama introduces Hin, a young, aspiring musician who struggles to start his career. He is a minor online influencer with thousands of followers, as I've just mentioned earlier, but can't transform this popularity into a full fledged contract with a record label. When his latest demo gets rejected by a producer, so Hin is very discouraged and thinks of quitting for good. His ex boyfriend Yu comforts him, but he cares more about hooking up and having casual sex. At university, Hin is reunited with his high school friend Hugo. The thing about Hugo, he's very shy, super introverted. But as I mentioned, he used to be good friends with Hin, but a failed love confession as Hin did not want to complicate their friendship because I guess for many of those relationship, one friend ends up having feelings the other friend isn't prepared to return or simply can never return, which essentially caused them to drift apart ever since. The recent encounter causes like old feelings to resurface between them. Both Hin and Hugo muster up the courage to reconnect, so Hin invited Hugo to his home for drinks, putting aside any awkwardness from the past. The thing is, Hin, who was the host in the possession to invite Hugo over for beers, also invited Yu, who, upon arriving, lets Hugo know that they hooked up. Well, not Hugo, but Hin and him hooked up on the beach the night before ending season one. For me, I truly enjoyed Owen's acting as a sleazy drunk hot mess, where he captured, the type of person who thinks of himself in one way, but behaves in another. And I really think that he played the character Yu really well as a drunken sleaze. Moving on in season two, Hugo's background is expanded through flashbacks. So there are a lot of flashbacks in season two. So back in his high school days, he had a close brotherly bond with Hin. However, their friendship was ruined when Hin reacted poorly to a romantic kiss from Hugo. There was a blunt rejection caused Hugo to go on a downward spiral, made worse by deteriorating circumstances with his family at home. But the thing is, like, Hugo pretends to have a platonic relationship with him, but there are clearly lingering feelings for his high school crush. When Him plans to move to Taiwan for a talent competition, Hugo realizes they might have only limited time together in Hong Kong. I'm always on the hunt for new BL dramas to watch, and I'm a Fool for You has caught my attention with its eye-catching thumbnails on YouTube, so you can find it on YouTube. Based on the steamy video thumbnails, it would seem that nearly every episode features intimacy between the characters. To my pleasant surprise, the series is racy and doesn't shy away from affectionate moments. Even though the scenes aren't explicit, the physical interactions are titillating and filmed quite artistically, I would say. While some dramas struggle to showcase even one kiss between the characters, they make up pretty frequently, and in the series, not only do they kiss, but the characters have active sex drives. Like, for example, like you, who goes on all these dating apps, trying to engage in white night stands, and it feels more authentic, I guess, in real life. Like many adults do have their own sexual needs, as opposed to fictional BL leads who only get intimate to fulfill like the ending plot. I'm a Fool for You celebrates, I guess, is a more liberal approach to sexuality and sexual desires. I think the acting is pretty good generally, except for the fake drunkenness and the fake crying on the beach. It was like, and the thing is, it made me turn the faucet. The thing is, Hin would turn the faucet on, and there are no tears at all. It's also refreshing to see actors who don't have appearances of runway models. Not that I'm saying they aren't attractive, but I think the actors are chosen to look alike of how many average college students in Hong Kong would resemble, which in a way is a lot more realistic. I mean, just look at me. Exhibit A right here. And I think people, in person, when they look in person, they don't always translate into how they look on camera. I've known some stunningly, jaw-droppingly beautiful people in person who, when the camera looked at them, appeared sort of meh on film. Not that they were suddenly ugly, like mind you, they just looked average on camera. And I think it's because not everybody is photogenic. I've also read some comments where people feel that the plot is unoriginal, which is true because it uses a typical college setting that many BL series have already done, and it doesn't feel too compelling due to a lack of meaningful interactions between the leads. I think it's because the tone is kind of gloomy, especially Hugo. I think a lot of people find him very like pessimistic. And maybe some happier scenes would show more significance to their push and pull relationship. But then again, the episodes are very short, so I feel like those characters' emotions are not fully explored. It's a series that everyone ends up very unhappy rather than rather than like having those like fluffy BL vibes. I truly enjoyed the behind the scenes where the actors like P.S. Owen, Bowie speak so much more comfortably during the outtakes or even during their cast interviews where they seem to have really good chemistry. And with the outtakes at the end of each series, it really gives the audience a deeper understanding of the work behind the scenes and the overall production. Overall, I think I'm a Fool for You show is very promising and it's also very presentable, packaging itself with solid production value. There's a standard of quality with its artistic camera work and smooth soundtrack. Truly, I give so much prop for being an indie BL web series from Hong Kong. Also, there aren't, mind you, there aren't that many BL series in Hong Kong to begin with, which is exactly a type of underrepresented content that I vouch to watch for anyone to watch. So, with more experience under its belt, this ongoing drama has the potential to improve its quality. I'm eager to watch new episodes in the future, particularly as I mentioned, like episode 3 is in the works. So I'm really looking forward to it. Leave me a comment down below to share any of your dating experiences. Have you ever been rejected? How do you cope with it? Did you find rebounding helpful? What do you think is a healthier way to deal with breakups and rejections? You have me, and I have you. So we'll make it through together. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.